Hello! Hello, hello. It is Thursday. Yes, it is Thursday. My brain is tricking me into thinking it's Friday today, but it is not Friday. It's Thursday. I'm a day short. Hello, Lim. Hello, Rose. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. And there's our question of the day already. Nice. Love that. If you can give a 10-minute PowerPoint presentation on anything, what would it be? What can you just yap about for 10 minutes? Is essentially the TLDR of that question. There's a lot of things I could 100% rant about. And I know one of them is I refuse to use Link in Smash Brothers Ultimate because he is the Breath of the Wild Link. And Breath of the Wild Link is right-handed, and to me, Link has always been left-handed. So that's one of the key things I could make a 10-minute PowerPoint presentation on, and I can make solid points as to like why it's dumb. But hello. Yeah, I mentioned yesterday, I have many a thing to rant about. Some people may not even care, but like, man, there's some things that have just been festering inside my mind for a while now. And I haven't had the outlet to let it out yet. But we're here. I ranted a little bit yesterday about the state of like youth sports. And it's crazy. I've seen a couple TikToks about it already. Because yesterday we played a little Mario Tennis. And a lot of my youth sports was related to baseball, but the same feelings apply, honestly. The same thoughts and feelings apply. So, yeah. I did talk yesterday how I feel like youth sports are just freaking money grabs at this point. It's like, oh, it's for the rich. They're pricing out these children. And it's like, yes, that's exactly what they're doing. Because I feel like the whole system of travel ball has ruined sports for kids. Because with the whole notion of if you are not a pro-level player by the age of 8, then you have no chance of playing this sport in the future. And I think it's stupid. I don't want to buy anything. It's first turn. So I really do think it's really dumb. And I see comments all the time about people wishing they had started particular sports sooner than they did. But like, it's never too late to pick up a sport. It really isn't. You know, like, everyone starts somewhere. Like, Allie wants to play volleyball. I've never put her in volleyball before. Part of me almost kind of has that feeling, because, like, I mean, she's played in PE, so I think she knows the general rules, and she can bump a volleyball. You know, but she's never, like, played in a team setting. So, without that, like, I don't know how she would gel in a rec commission team for volleyball. But again, like, you start somewhere. You know, she may really like it and want to keep doing it. She may pick it up pretty quickly. But also, because she is older, she may pick it up a little quicker than she would have, say, like, maybe 2 years ago. So, but, like, there's this whole, like, notion and societal pressure about starting sports for kids, like, as soon as they start walking. Like, I see clips of these, like, 2 to 3-year-olds already doing incredible things in a sport, and it's like, what are we doing? Like, are you making this child a circus act? where they're just too good at the sport, or are you trying to train them to be like a pro athlete at the age of 2? Like what are we doing here? I never understood. It's like, oh, if they show interest in a thing, yeah, play with them. And if they're really good and cracked at it, sure, but like, don't like hone that skill until like, you know, you get them in an actual setting. Because like, you can hone individual skills, but for a team sport, but it does nothing without the team part of the team sport. And also, in terms of baseball and softball, the price of bats are outrageous. I have seen. Like, why a bat for youth baseball and youth softball? Like, these are like little kids we're talking about. The price for a bat for an 8-year-old child is $400. Like $300 to $400. And that is literally insane. Like, why in the hell are they charging that much for a youth baseball bat? Like, if you are getting a good quality bat for college, sure, right? Because if you're playing in college or even like high school, college, then like it's a good investment and it'll last you a long time. But if you're getting it for a child, they're going to outgrow it and are gonna need a bigger bat. Why am I falling so far behind? What? Why am I behind? I don't understand that, but it's fine. But yeah, for a youth sports are so insane. And allegedly, I haven't personally seen this because I got Allie's current ball glove that she has at Walmart. But apparently I have seen somewhere floating around that lefty gloves are more expensive than righty gloves. And like, that is outrageous because they are just the exact same thing, just flipped. Like, the only difference of a left-handed glove and a right-handed glove is what hand it goes on. That's the only difference. Like, it doesn't cost more, just like mirror the design. That's it. So it drives me nuts to see these kids get priced out of a sport they could potentially love. You know, like, I'm sure lots of kids would end up loving baseball, loving basketball, loving these, like, football, and loving these sports. But to even get playing time, they have to join these travel teams, which they have to be good enough already to join, or your parents have to have money to join. Because, especially around here, small town Kansas, if you don't got money, they don't care about you, which that's just how society works, and I hate that. I hate that so much. I'll stay in here. I'll get an item. So it just, drives me crazy. I may need to blow my nose again, because allergies, man, they're crazy right now. Not what I meant, but okay, that'll work, I guess. At least I opened this pack of baby wipes, which we don't need anymore because Riley's 5, but baby wipes are just nice to have. Especially when they're right next to me and I don't have to get up to go blow my nose. So hold on. I'm back. So yeah, it just sucks to see these kids get priced out of these sports that they, you know, could just potentially love. I mean, I grew up not with a lot of money, you know. And like, you know, I'm used to hand-me-down gloves and bats and everything. Like when I was a kid doing youth softball, I used an old baseball bat that my parents still had from when they coached Little League. Like, we had an old Easton baseball bat. It was like, it had like a blue handle on it. It was gray, and it had like red decor on it. It was like my favorite bat when I was a kid. And I wish I knew how much my high school bat was, but my parents did buy that for me when I was a sophomore? Freshman? Freshman. I think freshman. I think we just happened to be somewhere and we're trying out bats, and I found one I liked. I don't remember how much it was. Maybe 100 something. But this was also like 2009 or 2010. So, but I used it in high school for a grown size body, you know, a grown body. So, I still have that bat, and if I were to play softball again, like co-ed softball, I know there's like regulations and stuff, and it had to be like, you know, it had to have like these like stamps and stuff, and I get that, you know, getting a, you know, an approved bat, but like, why are they so expensive? Why are they so expensive? It's kind of stupid that they're so expensive. So, yeah. And it's like, I would love to get Allie her own bat so she can practice her swings at home. Like, we probably wouldn't be able to hit the ball because we're, you know, kind of a smaller area. We can, like, go out and play catch and work on, like, fly balls, ground balls, what have you, and maybe a little bit of pitching, but, like, she really needs to work on her swing, and I don't know how to accomplish that. Where is the other one? Oh, it's over there. Okay. Yeah, just take my money, it's fine. Sorry about that. Allergies, man. And I think I got Allie's ball glove for like 30 bucks at Walmart. And that was like 2 years ago? Last year. 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I want to say. Maybe. I can't remember. But I know I got it for her. Because I also wanted to pick up a new ball glove for my niece as well, who's about the same age as Allie. She's like 6 months older. And so I got them like the same glove because it came in both left and right-handed. So I got the lefty for Allie and the right-handed glove for my niece. And they were like 30 bucks at Walmart, which for a kid, you want a decent glove for a kid to use, because you want like good quality stuff. Like, I mean, I used this one particular black glove for a very long time, since I was like maybe 4th or 5th grade. I had this like black glove that I used forever until it like finally gave out on me like junior year. Yeah, it gave out on me like junior year, and then I got a new one. Well, I had to borrow one for a game, and it was like too big for me. So I had to play a whole game with a glove being too big. Or maybe it was senior year, like early senior year, I think, is when that glove finally crapped out on me. But then like you know, mid-season had to go get a new glove. But my parents know what they're talking about when it comes to gloves. So we picked up one that was already kind of like half broken in. Which is like for mid-season, that's kind of what you want. I hate actually breaking in gloves. It is a pain in the ass to do that. So with Allie's glove, it was already, you know, kind of half worn in, but it wasn't like completely worn in, so it's a pain in the ass to break in a glove. It is a pain in the ass. There's several different methods. I know my aunt said put a ball in the glove and like stick it like between your mattress, like where the mattress and like the spring thingy is, you know, just like kind of have it squished in there. I've heard shaving cream and put it in the oven. I have heard that one. I've heard like rubber bands. I've heard it all on how to break in a ball glove. So there's just wild methods on. Oh, come on. What's a red space or red space? Well, not really, unless I go over that way. And there's no guarantee. But we'll do it. We'll hit that one. Hello, DA. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. Alright. So, yeah, there's, like, several different methods of breaking in a ball glove. Like, I don't want to buy, like, a brand new glove. Like, I know what I'm dealing with when it comes to buying gloves. Especially for my kiddos. So, at least both my kids are left-handed. At least both kiddos are lefties. So, that way I don't have to buy brand new gloves literally all the time. I think by next year, Allie might need a new one. I think. Because I still have the one from when Allie first played, like, t-ball. Because I got a glove for her for, like, her 3rd birthday. And, you know, it's a small enough size or whatever. So, that's the one Riley's going to use for t-ball this year. And I think Allie's glove is still good. I think by next year she may need a bigger one. But, yeah, tired today? I mean, it does kind of have that feeling. Like, in my brain tried to trick me into thinking today was Friday. But it's not Friday. So my brain is lying to me. I hate it when my brain lies to me. But yeah. How to go to the Shadow Realm. A 10-minute PowerPoint presentation. You can talk about that for 10 minutes? Alright. Nice. Yeah, I've just been ranting about the state of youth sports nowadays. And I also am very aware of the overlap of playing video games and sports. It does exist. There are people who play sports and video games. Hi, I'm one of them. But I do know, like, in my experiences, like, watching content and meeting streamer friends, it does kind of feel few and far between. Like, they have, like, general knowledge of sports, but, like, not as much as I have been. Can I get a phone? Nope. I owe you 20 bucks. Okay, Bowser. Okay, Bowser. Pasta is actually pretty good right now. So, there we go. But yeah, I personally would rather buy gloves myself, because, like, it's been offered for me about, like, you know, someone else buying gloves for my kiddos, but I feel that I would rather do that because I know what I want to look for when it comes to sports equipment. Because, like, I also don't want someone to gift someone something that ends up being an illegal piece of equipment for a game. Like, I'd rather not do that. So I'd rather look up what needs to be done. Like, what needs and everything. They're both still there. I can at least find out if this one's a fake or not. Are you real? You are real. Okay. Okay. Alright. I'll take it. So, yeah, when it comes to, like, you know, buying a pair of cleats is not a big deal for me. Just gotta figure out shoe size. I think Allie may need a new pair of cleats, because the ones we got her, they run so small. They run so small on her, and it's like, ugh, we may need to go find her a new pair. So, but Riley's fine. She can deal with tennis shoes until she gets to softball. So. So yeah, I'm very particular about certain things to give my children. I am very particular, and like nothing drives me more nuts than when I tell someone specifically, like specific things about the kiddos. Oh my god. Oh, that could have been real bad. But nothing drives me more nuts than telling someone specific things about the kiddos and then they just don't listen. Nothing drives me more nuts. Cause like I can tell someone, hey, like Allie's current shirt size is like a youth large. That's her current shirt size. And then I can tell someone that, and that same person will turn around and get a different size. And it's really like smaller sizes. And it drives me insane. And what drives me even more insane is sometimes they just do things. Some people can just like pick up things for the kiddos, not even bothering to ask what size they're in. They're just going off of their own memory. And like nothing drives me more nuts than like someone just not bothering to ask me about my kiddos. You know? It's like, oh hey, here's... I mean, I do have stuff on my throne. I have quietly updated it the other day. I think last week sometime. Or maybe a couple days ago. I can't remember. But like, I'll kind of go in and like quietly update and like find things for the kiddos. Mainly like clothes and stuff. But, you know... But with that, it's like, oh, it already has the size listed. But yeah, like, if you want to, like, get my kids something, like, especially, like, clothing, because, like, you can never go wrong with clothes. Kids always need clothes. They're growing continuously. Allie is in, like, youth larges. And Riley is, like, in, like, the extra small to small range. It really depends on the shirt. I have no money to really do anything with. I need money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my god, I'm just doomed to lose. I'd rather pick up an item than to, like, lose money. Maybe I should have gone for the happening space. I don't know. I don't have money, so I'll take a cheap item. Thanks. That might come in handy at some point. So, yeah, there's so many things I just, like, rant about. Whether, like, serious, lighthearted. You know, like... Even, like, stuff for me. Like, if I were to tell you, oh, hey, my shirt size... I prefer larges. I probably could fit in a medium, but I prefer larges. And it would be like if I told someone, oh yeah, I prefer larges, or even extra large, depending on the shirt. You know? And if someone just like doesn't listen and just gives me a medium or even a small, because like, oh hey, you're smaller than me, you need a small. Or it's like, oh, I remember you wearing smalls like 10 years ago, here's a small for you. And it's like, are you serious? It's like, that ain't gonna fit me, I'm never gonna wear it. Because hey, bodies change. And like that, it just drives me nuts when it comes to the kiddos, because it's like, I always welcome anyone who wants to get things for the kiddos. Like, I'm not gonna like turn you away because you want to help out with things or want to get something for the kids. But it bothers me when you don't remember details or think you know better than I do about my kids' clothing size. Cause like, and part of me like really wants to say something, but sometimes it's like, is it even worth the battle if they're just not gonna listen anyway? So yeah, it's like, if you're going to gift something for, like, say you may not have kids, but like maybe you got like a niece or a nephew or something and you want to give them like clothes or something, always talk to the parents and figure out what size clothing they're in and adhere to that. And if you're not sure, always ask. Pro tip as a tired mom who has dealt with this before. And like, there are some times where like the clothing sizes are right on the money and it's like, yes, perfect, beautiful, love it. I wish I had a skeleton key. No, I can't, because wait. Oh, they're all the way over there. Okay. Let's just go. Take my money, I don't care. So, yeah. I'm gonna shout around, the answer's within yourself. The answer is within yourself. So, yeah, I know one thing that I mentioned yesterday. I mentioned yesterday about WrestleMania being this weekend. So, I will be busy this weekend watching WrestleMania. What? Oh, come on. What do you mean I got pushed into that? It's fine. WrestleMania is this weekend, and it really doesn't feel like it. I don't know if I haven't been streaming. I've been sick with strep throat 2 weeks ago, and I didn't stream most of the week last week. So I haven't really had a chance to sit and talk about it. And last week I streamed on Friday, and that was before what happened on SmackDown Friday night. So, man, I am so disappointed for this WrestleMania build. I have ranted a few times about the state of WWE and how TKO needs to butt out of creative and how they're kind of the big problem right now. And how when you take a creative product and try to put in like an objective business model on it, it's not going to do well. It's going to hurt the creative flow, and it's going to push away your loyal fan base. It's going to push them away. So, that is very apparent in what's been happening the last few weeks, especially on SmackDown. And there are people who are out there that are thinking, oh, we're just getting worked completely. Like, this is 100% a work. We're getting worked. They're doing this on purpose. My intuition as a viewer of this product is screaming from the rooftops that it's half right. So remember 2 years ago where Hello? Hello? Are we okay? Hello. I really hope we're okay. My levels look a little lower than normal. Hello? Because they were not hitting the right spots earlier. Maybe it'll be fine. Do I sound okay? Does everything sound okay? Because for whatever reason, OBS decided there's no microphone plugged in. Like, I didn't touch it, and then I heard everything go kaput. So, hopefully everything sounds okay. Please tell me if things sound okay, because I hate not knowing. So, I mentioned The Rock, and my mic just gets destroyed. He's cursed. But yeah, remember when, 2 years ago, because this made, like, mainstream news. It made mainstream news 2 years ago. The build to WrestleMania. Where The Rock tried to insert himself into the story, because the whole TKO thing happened because The Rock is a board member of TKO, because that's another little tidbit you need to know. He tried to insert himself into WrestleMania and try to give us Rock v. Roman, which is what people have been clamoring for years. Like, that's a big money match. However, the way he did it stepped on a lot of people's toes. Stepped on Cody Rhodes' toes. And that's how we got the We Want Cody movement from 2 years ago. Because, Cody won the Royal Rumble 2 years ago, back to back, and the alleged story is he quote-unquote went into business for himself, and after he pointed at the WrestleMania sign, which you're contractually obligated to do, he pointed at Roman Reigns sitting in a booth and calling his shot. That's where the story is. Finishing the story is the WWE title, taking it off of Roman Reigns, who's had it for over 1,000 days at this point. That was the story, right? And to quote unquote finish the story, he needed to get the WWE title, which was on Roman Reigns. And, literally, the SmackDown after, he said, on the mic, to Roman, saying, it's not gonna be you. Like, he's going to get the title, but it's not gonna be you. And people were like, what the fuck happened? And I think The Rock was in the ring, too. Everyone's like, what the fuck happened? Why is he giving up? Why is he giving up at the goalpost? Like, what's happening? So, that's when the whole We Want Cody movement started. And we had the biggest pivot for creative in the road to WrestleMania 40, which is honestly, you can't top it. WrestleMania 40 was something special. Hello, Johnny. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. Do I sound okay? I haven't been told whether or not I sound okay, because OBS decided my microphone didn't exist. So, do I sound okay? Am I quiet? Am I not quiet? I don't know. Fair but low volume. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that is, because my mic is... Let me see something. Try and dig into my settings. Because, yeah, my levels were where they normally were, and then my mic had a conniption, and now they're, like, lower than normal, and I didn't do anything to my mic. So... far away. I'm like right up against my mic right now. So, give me 1 second. All right, hello? Hello? My level's gone back to where they were. I don't know what's happening right now. So, okay, to explain what just happened. So I was talking normal. Everything was working just like this. And then the first time I mentioned The Rock, my laptop decided no. And it was doing the weird thing. I may have sounded like a robot, I'm not sure. Because I can't hear all the robot stuff on my end. But I noticed it, so I was trying to fix it right away by, like, you know, doing the whole classic unplug, plug back in, because I was having a problem, with, it might be like the USB port or something. I was having a problem with it the other day, but it was like before stream. So I restarted my laptop. Just the whole kit and caboodle, I restarted everything. I think it was yesterday, maybe. Yeah, I was having a problem with the mic being plugged in, and I restarted the whole thing, and it fixed it, and everything was fine yesterday. But today, it did it in the middle of the stream, so I was like, well, shit, I can't just restart my laptop in the middle of the stream. That's not good. So, you know, I unplugged it, plugged it back in, checked if it was registering. I moved it to a different USB port, so maybe thinking that was the issue. And then it had everything, it made everything quiet. And I'm like, what? And no one was saying anything. So, yeah, so thank you, Johnny. Thank you. Oh, shoot. Time to lock and load. Oh my god, I'm just panic hitting things. What do you mean they won? What do you mean they won? Bullshit. Bullshit. So yeah, and then just now, I'm like, well, if it's not registering my mic, what if I try the other USB port? And I put it back where it originally went. And so I did that just now. And then I double checked to make sure it was registering the mic. And it wasn't, so I made sure it was. And now we're back here. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening anymore. I do know I need a new laptop. I have one set to crowdfunding on my Throne page. So, yeah. I need new laptops so bad, but like a lot of laptops are expensive. I just need like a clean slate. I don't want to be chivalrous, I just want to slice you. I'm at 95. What was 95? Why is everyone all of a sudden so fucking good? Right? Where's... I just want to get rid of my lucky lamp. I don't think this is really the time to do that. Let's do this one instead. So, yeah. Laptop does not want to smell what the Rock is cooking. Absolutely not. My laptop does not like The Rock. Which is fine, because I'm not the biggest fan of him right now anyway. And it's like, what he did for wrestling and everything, he was a star. He went on to transcend wrestling and became a big movie star and hit it big in Hollywood. You know, that's commendable. I'm just not a big fan of him because I think he can be kind of a dickhead, and that's just me. Allegedly, you know, I'm not saying that's a fact, I'm saying allegedly. Yeah, I'll use a basic laptop that has limitations. Yeah, I've had this laptop since 2020, and I don't know, it might have been fairly new when I got it because my brother-in-law was the one that gave it to me, and he got it from my aunt, who doesn't know a whole lot of tech stuff, and so whenever she has a very simple problem with a laptop, she just throws it out or just keeps it and buys a new one. I mean, she has money, she can do that. And so my brother-in-law noticed this and was like, I'm gonna, you know, like wipe the, like if you're not using them, I'm gonna wipe them. And he gave me one of those. And I don't know how new or old this laptop was when I got it. And I know we used it a little bit before I started using it for streaming. So, what brand is it? It is a Dell. It is a Dell laptop. Which I think in the past I've used HP's before. Because my very first laptop was an HP. I think the next one I had was an HP that was given to me by my brother-in-law. That one I still have. It's very slow. I booted it up about a year ago, I think, and it's very slow because I wanted to get some stuff off of that, to move stuff off of that laptop to the one I'm using now. Windows 11? No, not Windows 11, Windows 10, because I have heard if you upgrade from 10 to 11, it screws up a lot of things, rather than just starting outright with Windows 11. So I'm sure if I get a new laptop, it'll be Windows 11. But I have heard if you upgrade from 10 to 11, it is not good for the laptop. That is what I have heard. BRB, no worries, Johnny, no worries. But yeah, and that second laptop I have, the real slow one, when I got it, I was so, I mean, it was nice to have a new one because I needed a new one at that point. But during all the transfers and stuff, because my brother-in-law had, I think it got like an external hard drive or something and just like got everything transferred over, so I didn't have to worry about like starting blank, and I still had like all my old files and stuff. At that time, I was currently writing a fanfiction. It was one of those that kind of stuck with me in a way, and I wrote it to essentially cope with my mom dying, because this was like 2017, and my mom died 2016. So this was like not even a year after mom died, and I was like, I'm gonna write, and I just kind of wrote whatever, and I had some, good story ideas. It was an EXO fanfiction, and then after I got this new laptop, I'm like, okay, I want to work on this. So I pulled up the latest chapter I was working on, because I was like maybe like a full page into the chapter. But when I pulled up the chapter on the new laptop, I do not hate you, Frost. Do I? Okay. I really hope everything is said and done. Do I sound okay? Because I finally swapped this mic cord. Because I bought this extra cord not that long ago because these issues were like few and far between. And now it's like happening more often and I can't just restart my laptop in the middle of stream. Because usually that fixes it. So do I sound okay? Let me know if I sound okay. And I do not hate you, Frost, because I saw that pop up. I'm like, I can't right now! My mic wasn't even plugged in! I couldn't say anything. But hello, Frost. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. I sound a little crisper in my headphones, honestly. I don't know if I'm just being loud and obnoxious, like I always am. But a little too much. But yeah, I finally swapped out this cord, and it immediately worked. So I wondered if it was just finally time to replace it. Because I grabbed my can of air, my little duster, cleaned the ports a little bit. I think maybe it's just time for this cord to be retired because I got so sick and tired. I got so sick and tired of barely touching the cord and it just throwing a fit. I got so sick and tired of that. And like this mic cord is extremely long too. But this one was the one that my friend bought for me when he gave me this microphone. So, but it lasted this long, honestly. And I think as soon as I had the initial issues with it, that's when I ordered this new cord. So hopefully everything's kosher. I need to get rid of this lucky lamp, but like I have like no good spot to use it. Hello, Blue. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. Hello, Del Tora. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. Is there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Item. Sure, I'll take an item. Who is Mike and why are we having issues with him? Because I didn't like the rock. And I'm a picky eater, and I get all the skeleton keys I can carry. Love that for me. Actually, that might be useful later. Yeah, I finally got sick and tired of, this microphone cord. Finally got tired of it, and I swapped it. Finally. Maybe this will be better. And this cord isn't as long, but I don't have my mic far away from my laptop anyway, so this'll work. I guess the ultimate test is if I bump the cord. Oh, what? I hit both buttons at the same time. Are you serious? Oh my god. Why? I need to stop being so antsy. Oh my god. I'm so bad. I'm so bad at this game. I'm gonna well, the ads are going on right now, so yeah, it was 100% the cord. That was the problem. Illegal ad. Illegal ad! Rude. That's so rude. So all those little thumps you heard just now, if you heard them, that was me hitting my mic cord. So I think there was probably, this cord is just going bad. Which again, makes me really sad, but it was like, I think my friend got it for like $13 on Amazon. I think he got it for $13 on Amazon, and it is a very long cord. It has just been coiled like this for a very long time. So I think it was just time. Yeah, I do remember, I mentioned it the last time I had mic issues, I think, that, when I was having problems at it, like, right at the beginning of stream, I was very frazzled, very frantic, trying to figure out what the heck, and, but I still got this cord to work, and I had to, like, end stream, and then, someone was like, I mentioned, like, I have another cord, but it's like, I didn't want to give up on this old one yet. I didn't want to give up on it, and, this person in chat was like, I'd swap cords, like, in the tone of the message. It's one of those, like, texts can kind of come off very, you know, strange in some ways. It sounded very, like, demanding, like they were, like, trying to tell me, you have to swap cords now. It's like, it's a lost cause, swap cords, and I wasn't going to give up on it, and it made me cry. It made me upset, and it made me cry. And, I think I was on the phone with Vegito shortly after that, but then I got stuff to work after, like, restarting my laptop, I think, so I restarted stream. And, I was telling Vegito about it, and, I think he did a little bit of digging, and he banned that person. I'm like, you didn't have to go that far. But he was probably thinking, like, I don't put up with bullshit. Which is true, he does not put up with bullshit. And, maybe he was also thinking, you made my wife cry. Maybe. I don't know. He would probably never admit it. Probably never admit that was what was happening. But, yeah. Blue and Tessa scuffed. I know. You can't have a stream without any scuff, unfortunately, but hopefully, so far so good. This cord's working out pretty good, because I was in the middle of my rant! I was in the middle of ranting about The Rock! And how much of a douchebag I think he is. So, I think my laptop, or at least this microphone cord, took offense to it. It cut me off on a rant, because I was gonna rant about the whole of WrestleMania happening. The Rock is silencing Tessa. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Drop my nail clippers. I was clipping a hangnail. Yeah, I mentioned, you know, like 2 years ago, WrestleMania 40, The Rock tried to, insert himself into, like, the main event of WrestleMania, trying to give us, The Rock v. Roman Reigns, which was what fans had wanted for years, so it's like, yes, now is the time. But, that wasn't what the fans wanted at that time. It's like, yeah, the fans want Rock v. Roman, but, the fans didn't want it at that time. We wanted Cody. So, for like 3 days. What?! That's bullshit. That is such bullshit. Yeah, so for like 3 days straight, the hashtag #WeWantCody trended on Twitter. And it was so crazy to see. Because Cody won the Royal Rumble, which gives him the right to challenge for one of the world titles in the main event of WrestleMania, is what it should be. But then the following Friday, after the Royal Rumble, Cody said that he wasn't going to challenge Roman Reigns, and everyone was so confused as to what was going on. And then it's like, Cody giving up his Rumble spot, like, he was supposed to go after Roman Reigns. He's supposed to go after the WWE title. That's the whole point, because the current World Heavyweight Championship was a new title that got added, and it's like, why would he go after this one when, like, the WWE title is the one that, like, that is the gold one. it is a gold championship, but still, like, you know, that is like the title he's going after. Why would he just not do it anymore? So it didn't make any sense. So the fans had a major outcry. And we got Cody back in the main event, and then we got the character, The Rock, heel turn, became the final boss, and we had some of the best storytelling. Like, the road to WrestleMania for Mania 40 was like one of the best build-ups to a Mania ever. It was so good. It was like peak wrestling. And then WrestleMania 40 was very good. Cody finished the story. And then, man, things just kind of happened. And then last year, we had John Cena going after the record-breaking 17th world title. And then, because The Rock got involved at the Chamber because allegedly, ticket sales were low. So The Rock decided, well, I'm going to go in and sell tickets. And I think it worked. But then he was nowhere to be seen after that. It's like, why would you insert yourself into the story just for ticket sales and then just never be seen again? You start this fresh angle that could have been something. With the John Cena heel turn. It could have been something. And then he's like, nope, my job is done. Goodbye. And they're like, yes, Travis Scott. The celebrity appearance. Celebrities will get people to watch, right? No, we're in the age where people are tired of celebrities. We are tired of celebrity endorsements. We're tired of it. We are so sick and tired of it. So it doesn't work. Let me do this minigame real quick. Toad Koopa Boo, Toad Koopa Boo, Toad Koopa Boo, Toad Koopa Boo. So yeah, we're in an era where we're tired of like the influencer craze. We're tired of the celebrity endorsements to everything. We are so sick and tired of it that we don't want it anymore. Like, if a celebrity is telling us, you gotta do this because I say so. No. Like, yes, it is a marketing strategy. I think there's like a list of like marketing strategies and like a celebrity. I don't remember what exactly it's called, but it's like, you know, like the celebrity endorsements. Like, you see a celebrity you like, oh, if a celebrity is using that, I can use it too. You know, like a celebrity advertising like makeup. You know, like, hey, you should get this new mascara. Lady Gaga uses this mascara. It's like, oh, hey, Lady Gaga uses it. I can be like Lady Gaga too. And that's kind of like the whole influencer thing too. And now all the, you know, influencers, especially the beauty influencers, all they're after is money. They're trying to sell you shit, which is true. They're trying to sell you shit that they themselves don't even use. And a lot of people are sick and tired of these celebrity endorsements. And celebrity involvement in WrestleMania is nothing new. It's not new. The problem that people are having is when celebrities are needlessly inserted into a main event story. No hate to Jelly Roll. You know, love what he's done. You know, he's bettering himself. And he had a hell of a match. What was it, SummerSlam? He participated in the match as a talent at SummerSlam, you know, a few months ago. And he did really well. He gets it. He's a fan of the business. He gets it, you know. Totally get it. But, and I think he really doesn't want to do this. But I think the higher-ups are wanting to insert Jelly Roll into the main event story of Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Because people were very unhappy about Cody Rhodes winning the title after losing Chamber anyway. And also, Randy Orton won the Chamber. So now we have Cody Rhodes as champion. Randy Orton's going after his 15th world title, which he deserves. But now it's like, and like 3 or 4 weeks ago, we had a hell of an angle of Randy just beating the shit out of Cody Rhodes, making him bleed everywhere, and like shades of '09 bald Orton. You know, we were getting shades of '09 Randy Orton, which is what we want. You know, that's a way to do it. Like, Randy Orton is at the point of his career where no matter what he does, he won't get booed. He will not get booed. The fuck? Yeah, Automon is getting good at catching stuff like this. Like, what the fuck? They're changing up their tactics. Holy shit. What the fuck is this? Automon's like, hey, we're... Oh. It's like, hey, we're withholding this message. And it wasn't a, cheat viewer type thing. It said, hi, bro. And had a random tag for something. It's like, no. No. The username was like bleached graft. I don't know what it was, but it was strange. But anyway. Yeah, so right now we have like essentially heel to tweener Randy Orton going after Cody Rhodes, who is the babyface. And they have history. Because when Cody Rhodes was a brand new up-and-comer, there was a faction, I believe it was called Legacy. And, you know, it was comprised of, like, second-generation superstars. And Randy Orton led it, and Cody Rhodes was a part of it. And they had been together, like, on camera and even behind the scenes for 20 years. So there is a 20-year history between these two, and the story for those two should just write itself. 20 years of history. Randy Orton just beating the shit out of Cody, and he even said right before he did it, it wasn't supposed to be you. It would have been easier if it was Drew. And it's like, that's so compelling. It was a huge fucking beatdown. And now they're inserting Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll into the story where it doesn't need it. Why is Pat McAfee the focal point of a feud with 20 years of history? Why? Explain that to me. Like, this year's WrestleMania has been fucking plagued to all hell because TKO is just so fucking blind. They are tunnel visioned on money. They're doing all of the tactics to make money, but right now they're losing money. WrestleMania ticket sales are very low right now, not nearly where they were a year ago. Oh, but you know, they announced last year they had The Rock specifically come out and announce WrestleMania in New Orleans. Cool, people loved it, people were super excited for it, and then like 2 months later, they decided, oops, sorry, pull the rug out from under you, we're going back to Vegas, because Vegas is a big fight town. Vegas is going to get us a lot of money. So we're going back to Vegas, and people were like, whoa, what the fuck? It was expensive in Vegas. It's expensive to travel to Vegas, to stay in Vegas, much less the freaking expensive ticket prices that are stupid right now. So, and like in the months from like, you know, since, you know, the Royal Rumble, which kicks off the road to WrestleMania, since then, they have done literally everything except for lower ticket prices. They didn't start lowering ticket prices until last week. And they're only lowering them for night one. There is a 25% off sale for WrestleMania tickets night one, and even the cheapest ticket was like 160 something, I think. Because night two cheapest ticket is over $200 for one person at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. And it's like, it's a little too late. Too late. Because by this point last year, it was sold out. You know, like $60K for one night, or a little over $60K for one night, or whatever, however the capacity is. And now tickets are barely over $40,000 for both nights. I think night 2 has like 42,000 and night 1 has like 40,000 approximately, last I saw, which is pretty low for WrestleMania standards. And this is the consequence of doing Vegas 2 years in a row, because WrestleMania, much like the Super Bowl, is supposed to move locations every year. You know? Because 2 years ago it was in Philadelphia, 3 years ago it was in Hollywood. You know, and then before that, WrestleMania 38 was in Dallas. So it's supposed to move every year. And, like, going back to Vegas 2 years in a row was 100% a TKO decision. Because they want money. They are ruining WWE. Because TKO also has a little bit of pull in creative. So the higher-ups in WWE proper, they have to answer to TKO. And what TKO says goes. And also, you know how I said, like, why is Pat McAfee being inserted into the story? Thanks, TKO! Like, the CEO of TKO is the one that's like, yes, Pat McAfee will do great, because Pat McAfee has ties to ESPN. The WWE has a deal with ESPN. So that'll be a great tie-in. No! If he was inserted to literally any other story that's not the main event, it would have been okay. It would have been okay at best. But no, people are furious. They are furious at Pat McAfee's involvement. And it's like, I like Pat. I liked him when he was on commentary. Yeah, he'd said some wild ass shit on commentary, but I liked him on commentary. He was great. And now it just really feels like, I know he's trying to be the heel. It's giving trying too hard to be the bad guy. And now he really is a bad guy. He's really made himself look like a fool. He's just kind of saying whatever. And it's like, why? Again, 20 years of history with Cody and Randy. 20 years of history. And there's a lot of talent that are not very happy with this. Like, not even just Cody and Randy. Like, there's a lot of talent that are not very happy with it. And also, Pat McAfee can just show up to SmackDown, start dropping F-bombs, saying cuss words all over the place. Like, why is he allowed to do that, but the actual talent can't do a damn thing? Like, why? What happened to me? What happened to my... Oh, did someone steal my... someone did. Okay, it's fine. I can gamble on this, I guess. But yeah, like, why? Why are we doing this? And... don't get me started on some of the other builds to Mania. Because, like... I think on the Busted Open podcast with Bully Ray Dudley and Dave LaGreca, I think they were, they mentioned, like, if you can only watch one match from this year's WrestleMania card, which match would it be? Immediately. Podcast. I think it's radio. They're on Sirius XM. I said podcast. Podcast radio, kind of the same thing now. Yeah, Busted Open Radio on Sirius XM. I don't know what channel it is, but and I'm sure you can like find clips on YouTube too. YouTube and TikTok, but yeah, they were asked, like, if you can watch one match from this year's WrestleMania card, what match would it be? And without hesitation, Bully Ray said, Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. And yeah, 100% correct. And the closest second is Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan. I 100% agree. Those two stories have the best build-up. I'd say third place is probably Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio. And I hate how WWE announces the Demon. Why announce it early? Why are we announcing this shit early? Let the Demon be a surprise. This is probably just more bullshit to, oh, we need to move tickets. We need to build anticipation. If people know the demon's gonna be there, they're gonna buy tickets. But no, it does the opposite effect. It does the opposite. If you spoil the freaking plot of a movie, why go to a movie theater to go watch it? If you spoil the movie in a trailer, why would you go watch it? Huh? This is the exact same thing. Imagine the astronomical pop that could have been if they just kept it on the DL for the demon. Imagine the pop we would have gotten. But no, they're being stupid. Excuse me. Let me catch up real quick. And I see you gotta go get food. No worries, you do that. Let me catch up on chat. Need more Tessa endorsements. I mean, I will endorse whatever I think is correct. But I still don't have a Sonic sponsorship. Sonic, please sponsor me. I buy your food all the time. I say not all the time. I haven't really done it very often. Hi, bro. Yeah, I didn't even see the message. I just hit deny. Yeah, I usually just hit deny, but that was like so different. It was a very different message than usual. And it said like, check out whatever, or cheap viewers. And it was just, hi, bro. It's like, excuse me? Blue is here for a bot, yes. Actually, I was here, but I tabbed into Discord to respond to a message, and then heard Tessa mention it. I tabbed back immediately. Like, what? I got 2 trips to Vegas. And that's what mania's happening right now. Pat McAfee in my soul, something, something, yeah. Then busted open radio, yeah. Yeah, yesterday she went pee and eat and never returned. Nope, but then found her again playing Super Battle Golf. Is that what it's called? Because, oh, that was really funny yesterday. Because, I come back from picking up Riley from school. And she's got a Band-Aid that I have to change out, or at least this last week. I'll explain that later. But I had to change out a Band-Aid for Riley. And I did that. Came back, put away all my stream stuff. That included my microphone. I had my laptop still out because I didn't know if I wanted to work on something or not. And then I checked Discord, and I see I got a message from JT, timestamped at like 1:20 something, I think. It's like, dude, I was in the middle of stream at that point. I didn't see this until just now. And it's like, hey, you want to play Super Battle Golf with me and Blue? And I'm like, I'm just now seeing this. This is like 2.5 hours later. Like, is the offer still on the table? So I messaged him back. Like, is the offer still on the table? Because I'd like to play. I was like, I needed to get... So I pulled my mic back out. I bought the game, started downloading it. And played Super Battle Golf with JT Blue and I believe Bat. I think that was her name. Yeah, it was really fun. I was watching back the VOD this morning. At least like that section of it. Because sometimes I watch it back, you know, just to like, yay friends. So. We need WrestleMania on top of Mount Sunflower. Yes, it'll be great. Dun, 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 dun. A Z A B A Z A B A Z A B A. Okay. Dun 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 dun. A Z A B A Z. Okay. A Z A B A Z A. I mean, there's kind of a pattern. A Z A B A Z A. Luigi. Oh, I think he was trying to go off of my normal strat. A, Z, A, B, A, Z, A, B. Alright. So we have a pattern, kind of. A, Z, A, B, A, Z, A. Wow. Do 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 A, Z, A, B, A, Z, A, B, A. Gotta keep going. Tiny Tizzle horse, yes. I love the tiny horses. A, Z, A, B, A, Z, A, B. Mario. I won without really going to the second line. That's impressive. The tiny horses were so funny. I still love the fact that JT still has the tiny Tessa on his overlay. It's so funny. I love it so much. But yeah, kind of going back to... Yeah, the WrestleMania matches, they're not good. The build-ups aren't good. And the latest outcry has been in regards to the matches themselves, because they announced the matches for Saturday and Sunday. There's 7 matches night 1 on Saturday, but there's 6 matches on night 2 on Sunday. And the problem is, there's only one women's match on the card on Sunday, and that is Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley, which I am not looking for. As much as I love Rhea Ripley, I am not looking forward to that match. I do not care for that match. I don't care. And again, I love Rhea Ripley. I love Rhea Ripley. I love watching her. She's always so fun to watch in the ring. But like, I don't care. Like, Rhea Ripley has the star power, but the story itself does not make me want to care about it. Which is so sad, because it's Rhea fucking Ripley. It's Rhea bloody Ripley. So, but no, the problem is Io Sky and Asuka was reported to have a match at Mania this year. And it was also reported that there were going to be lots of women's matches on the card this year for WrestleMania, which is exciting because the women are kick-ass. And it's like, I want to watch the women wrestle, and they need time to shine. And I'm not saying that because they're women. I'm saying it because they're the best thing on this damn show. They are the best thing in WWE right now. The women are the best part of WWE in terms of storytelling and in terms of match quality. The women are the best thing right now. Like, the best show, the best PLE, pay-per-view, whatever the heck you want to call it, was Evolution 2, which is an all-women's show. That was the best show last year. And they were set up to fail, kind of in a way, because Beyonce had a concert in the same day and time, like right across the street. And it was the day after a Saturday night's main event. Like, the women are the best part of the show. One of your best wrestlers on your roster right now is Io Sky. And Asuka's a fucking legend right now. She has reached legendary status. And it's one of those... And the story that's being told right now is really, really good between them. Asuka cut a hell of a promo, like, last week. And then Io responded via a tweet and essentially challenged her to a match at WrestleMania, tagging Allegiant Stadium in it. But like right before Raw Monday night, she took that tweet down. People were worried. They're like, no, they'll announce a match. They'll confirm it. No match was announced or confirmed. So we're looking at the potential of Asuka a freaking legend in the business right now. She missed Mania last year because of an injury. But she's just not on the card right now. And Io Sky, who walked in as world champion a year ago and won her match in a match that should have main evented. Best match at WrestleMania last year was Rhea, Bianca, Io. That was the best match at WrestleMania last year. Like, 5-star match from Mr. Dave Meltzer, who is known for ranking matches stupid, but it is crazy that he gave WWE women a 5-star match. They were that good. And Io has been consistently good. You know, has carried 2025. And she is not on the card. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean Io Sky is not on the card? So I have seen all over my Twitter feed anyway. I don't know the overall reach and level of trending it's getting, but I'm seeing it all over my Twitter of we want Io versus Asuka. All over the place on my Twitter feed. And I really hope they see this and rectify something, because people will be more pissed if Io is involved in Mania but not having a match. Because before Rhea won the Elimination Chamber, she was in a tag team with Io Sky. And they were Riho. You know, loved it. They were great. And there was, like, you know, a lot of good dynamic. Oh, come on. Oh, I fucking... No! No! It's fine. It's fine. So Rhea and Io were a pair. They were a pair. And they split up the pair because Rhea was a panic button to find an opponent for Jade Cargill. Don't at me. That's my opinion. That's what I think happened. It's very evident with the way the storytelling is. Like, what buildup does Jade Cargill and Rhea have? Like, and there was, like, big social media banter, and it turned into, attacking Rhea about, like, oh, she talks to creative all the time. Allegedly, like, alluding to Rhea potentially politicking backstage. And, like, that's a taboo subject with talent. It's like, yeah, talent should talk to creative. They should be picking their brains. They should be advocating for themselves. It's not a bad thing. Like, sometimes, yes. Like, Hulk Hogan definitely, like, politicked a lot backstage. You know, like, that's the conclusion that I can reach from the stories I have heard. You know, so, like, that's kind of where it becomes a bad thing. I can go backwards. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need at least a 5. But, yeah, like, you know, politicking is seen as a bad thing, and, like, talking to creative backstage is a bad thing. I just realized. No, I can. Well, Mario can. It's fine. I can just go bloop. I don't want a chance time. I don't need it. So that was, like, online fighting, and they didn't take any of that animosity that was said online and translated that into on TV promos. They didn't do that at all. It turned into, oh, I'm stronger and better than you. Like, why? Why? What do we do with this? What's the point? No one's going to tune in and watch a story of, like, oh, I'm stronger and better than you. Between two people who have never interacted once before. You want to see Two people who have never interacted once before and make a hell of a story out of it. Liv and Stephanie. Liv won the Royal Rumble. And it is her right to challenge for the world title. For either world title. And she chose Stephanie. Because they made it personal. They made it personal. They're fighting. Have you seen Liv? Like, her face is all beat up. She got beat the fuck up. Because, last week. It was a total accident, but, Stephanie, it's on site with those two. It is on site. And Stephanie shoved Liv into Roxanne, and they collided heads, and they both ended up with, like, a big old goose egg. But, anywho, they have made something out of nothing. They have made something out of nothing. And, like, that, it's really compelling. And as much as, like, Brock Lesnar is, you know, in the shitty human list because, you know, the lawsuit against Vince McMahon and his name being mentioned and everything, like, he's a good performer. You know, it's one of those separate the art from the artist. I know people have trouble with that sometimes. And people say, oh, it's easier to do if they're dead, which is true, but, you know, sometimes you still gotta have that nuance. Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi is like a money match. And I believe that is kicking off WrestleMania Sunday on ESPN. Because they're really trying to get people to watch, and they're trying to reach a target demographic that does not give a shit about wrestling. Because people on ESPN are talking about WWE. They're trying to get the sports fans to come in and watch. These sports fans who don't know anything about wrestling don't give a shit. They're the ones who are like, oh, wrestling's fake. Because there is a legit comment about Stephen A. Smith talking about Liv Morgan. There was like a picture of, I think it was talking to Liv or something, and you can see the real legit bruises on Liv's face. Like, she's got a couple black eyes, she's got the bruising on her forehead from when she got beat up by Stephanie. Like, those are legit bruises. Those are legit. And some dude bro, who doesn't know anything about wrestling, but watches ESPN is like, man, this wrestling shit is fake. Look at those fake bruises. Those obvious fake bruises on her face. It's like, you're gonna get dude bros like that, and that's what you're trying to, you know, market towards? That's your target demographic you're trying to hit? Like, what are we doing? The more you try to reach the unreachable, you're letting go of who was already there. Man, I just spoke bars, man. So, yeah, it's like, we're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch WrestleMania, because, like, the matches themselves are going to be pretty good. And, oh, don't get me fucking started on Sami Zayn and Trick Willie. Don't get me started on those two. Like, I'm happy for Trick. I'm so glad Trick has a WrestleMania match. He is so good. He is a fucking star. But they really could have found a different way to insert Sami Zayn into the Mania. And I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to build a heel turn or maybe a double turn for those two. But why snuff Carmelo Hayes out of this? You could have easily made it a triple threat. Or even a fatal four-way involving Ilya Dragunov. Carmelo Hayes has carried fucking SmackDown on his back since January when he won the damn title. He has had banger matches week after week. And you're playing an injury angle to get him off of the card. What are we doing? What are we doing? Yeah, it's like the matches themselves will be fine. They'll be good matches, but it's just the stories leading up to it are just not good. It really does not feel like WrestleMania is this weekend. It really doesn't. And it makes me so sad. It makes me so sad that it really doesn't feel like it's going to be something special, which that's what WrestleMania should be. But no, TKO and their greedy little hands are dirtying the product with their business model. And it's like, no. Why are we doing this? Yeah, it's when you try to institutionalize creativeness. That's when you lose what your product really means. And all TKO cares about is money. 100%. And I think a lot of the higher ups in WWE and even the talent are sick and tired of them sticking their hands where it doesn't belong. Let the product be, then the money will come to you. Like, I'm sure they've lost money on this ESPN deal because a lot of people, well, with the whole WrestlePalooza thing, people didn't know that they were swapping to it at that moment, and there was not good communication on the pricing of it and where you needed to go, what app you needed and everything. So there was a lot of miscommunication there, and it happened so suddenly. Because when it was first announced about the ESPN deal, I'm just gonna keep yapping. When the ESPN deal was first announced, we were under the impression that it wasn't going to go through until WrestleMania. So like until now. But they decided, oh, WrestlePalooza will be our first show on ESPN. And they just like, you know, yank the dog's chain. And they're like, yep, here it is. You have like 2 weeks to purchase the app. And it's like, what? Why? Why? Why are we doing this? So, yeah, that was not a good decision. I'm sure they're losing money on the ESPN deal. They're losing money in ticket prices because their ticket prices are so stupid expensive. They're pricing out the average fan. And again, they've done everything except lower ticket prices for the last month. They only started lowering them last week. 25% off. Only for one night, though. Which is ridiculous. Because, like, who in their right mind is going to purchase a ticket for 25% off with a week's notice of the event? Because when you're planning a trip somewhere, you want to book in advance. Because trying to book something last minute, you're gonna spend more money on it. That's just how it works. Like, I'm sure if I bought a plane ticket for a flight that's tomorrow, it'd probably be a little bit more expensive than a flight that's like next month. I'm not going anywhere, but you know, just kind of the idea. So, okay, cool. The cheapest WrestleMania ticket is like just under $200. Cool. If I were to buy one right now, that doesn't take into account the money for hotels, the money for food, a vehicle to drive, rental car. You know, it doesn't take into account, and that's all in Vegas. Vegas is stupid expensive. People have said this from last year, that staying in Vegas is stupid expensive. So, what really sealed it was them trying to run it back at Vegas. And also, again, what's on the card is they've done promotional videos to promote the wrestlers in WrestleMania. And they did a shoot for the women. 2 of the women aren't even on the card right now. And WrestleMania is 2 days away. Yeah, Tiffany Stratton and Io Sky were in that promotional video. They're not on the card. And also, once again, the Women's United States Championship is not getting defended on a PLE. It has never been defended on a PLE before. Which is literally insane. And the Women's IC title didn't get defended on a PLE until Becky Lynch got it. And Becky Lynch is a big advocate for women. Because look at the people who she's put over. She's put over Lyra, she's put over Maxine. You know? Like, look how important that title is becoming. Now AJ Lee's got it. you know, and it's a sought after title, making it sought after. That's what you want with these mid-card titles. People have been wanting mid-card titles for the women for years, and now that we finally have it, they're like, it's a here damn type thing. They're not doing a damn thing with it. And I've heard like the original plan for for the women's US title was a triple threat between Julia, Jordan Grace, and Tiffany, and then Jordan Grace hurt her ankle about a month or so ago. And they're like, oh, now what do we do? Well, you're blocking all of your goddamn time on SmackDown to Pat McAfee, who spends 40 minutes just blabbering about literally nothing, when you could use that time to build stories that actually fucking matter. I hate it. I hate it here sometimes. I hate it here. Like, the last several weeks, there was a time where we watched all of Raw, all of NXT, all of SmackDown, because it was all compelling. And now, we could care less. We don't watch week to week anymore, like we used to, because the product isn't good. Viewership is low. Is extremely low. And TKO is probably wondering why it's low. We're doing everything that we normally do and it's low. Well, yeah, no shit, it's low. So, oh yeah, when you went pee and didn't come back. Playing Animal Crossing in bed. That seems legit. That seems legit. But yeah, you like disappeared. You went to the bathroom and probably fell in. No, but you don't do that. I'm sure you don't do that. Okay, for real. After this minigame, I will go take a break because I do need to pee. I'm the one that needs to pee, but I will return. I just had to get my thoughts and feelings out there about WrestleMania, because it's so bad. It's so bad this year, and I hate it. I hate it so much. Because honestly, like, the women are my favorite part about wrestling right now. And honestly, the best thing about WWE right now is Danhausen. Danhausen is the best thing about WWE right now, and it ain't even close. He is so funny and so entertaining. Love Danhausen. But yeah, Danhausen is the best thing about WWE right now, and it ain't even close. So, alright. I'm gonna take a break. Actually take a break, because I do need to pee, and I need a snack. I also need to swap over laundry. So, we're actually gonna do it this time. So, we're gonna take a break. Ooh, excuse me. We're gonna take a break. We're going to get up, stretch, go to the bathroom, grab a snack, do whatever it is you need to do, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, we are back. Yeet. And fun fact, I actually did cut the sleeves off of my Yeet shirt, so it is accurate. I wore it Tuesday. I wore my Yeet shirt Tuesday, and the shirt might be cursed. The shirt might be cursed because the last time I wore my Yeet shirt and these black shorts that I'm wearing right now, the last time I wore it, a lot of crazy things happened in the morning and I didn't get my shower until after like 12:30. And then I wore the same exact outfit, Yeet shirt, black shorts. Yeet shirt, black shorts on Tuesday, and crazy things happened in the morning and I didn't get my shower until after 12:30. So I think that particular combo is cursed. I think I'm just not allowed to wear this Yeet shirt ever again. So I mentioned, also thank you. Yeah, I'm back. Blue fell into Animal Crossing? Anyway. I did mention that, yesterday, when I got home from picking up Riley, I had to change a Band-Aid. Well, let's kind of rewind a little bit. So all last week, I was sick with strep throat. Like 2 weeks ago, I was sick with strep throat. I was sick when I did my April Fool's stream, but it got worse the next day, and it ended up being strep throat. So on Thursday, I was in a lot of pain. It was really hard to swallow. I just couldn't do anything. I was in a lot of pain. It was bothering me. Like, a warm shower didn't help. Gargling salt water did not help at all, which is usually a go-to, you know, whenever you have, like, a sore throat, because, like, it helped a little bit, like, a couple days prior, but, it didn't really, or, like, I tried to in the morning, and I just couldn't, because my throat hurt so bad, I couldn't do anything. And so, in the morning, I call the local clinic here. So, the in-town doctor, not the doctor I usually go to, which is a half-hour away, but the local doctor here. Call the clinic. I explain what's going on. And they said, well, we're completely booked today. I can put you on a wait list. So if any cancellations come in, we'll call you. And it's like, fuck, okay. But then by like about 12:30 that day, I just couldn't do it. So we went to the ER and got tested for, you know, flu, COVID, strep. It was strep. None of the other two. And I was prescribed antibiotics to take for 10 days. And that was that. And I started feeling a lot better after taking the antibiotics, so they definitely helped. But it was the fact that I called this clinic in town, so the most convenient clinic for me to go to, was completely booked and didn't have any openings for that day. And it's like, I really needed to be seen that day because I was in a lot of pain. It was bothering me. Like, and there is no urgent care here in my small town. I think the urgent cares are more for like the bigger cities. Because I have never really heard of urgent care until like hearing people talk about it online. Because like small towns, it's ER or bust. If you need something and no one can get you in for a doctor's appointment. So that's why it's like, I need to go to the ER to get something done now. And we were out of there about like an hour and a half, I think. Because there was another patient in the ER that kind of needed to be seen before me, but that's okay. Anyway, so the whole takeaway from that is like, it was kind of ridiculous that there was no openings for my symptoms. Okay, now fast forward to a week later. So 1 week ago today, So, to preface this whole thing, we gotta rewind once again. I took a picture of this on March 23rd. Riley had a big old blister on her toe. On her big toe. On her left foot, I believe. She had a big old blister, and it was really huge, and it was just getting in the way of things. It was hurting her. So I did everything as safely as I possibly could, because I know you are not supposed to pop blisters. I know you are not supposed to pop blisters. I know this. But, like, this thing was huge. It was hurting her. So I'm like, I'm going to do this as safely as I possibly could. So I ran a sharp object under hot water. Yes, remove the foot. We'll get to that in a second. So I ran a sharp object under hot water for like 30 seconds. Just to make sure, you know, whatever. I'm doing everything I can. And I have the Neosporin, I have band-aids at the ready. I have like everything prepared. So it's like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it as safely as possible. You know, I'm not just going to pop it willy-nilly, because that's just going to make it way worse. Sure. So I poke a hole in this big old blister, start draining it. Most of it was clear, but there was a little bit of, you know, kind of murky pus in that blister. So, and I do everything I can. I put Neosporin on it. We change the Band-Aid regularly. You know, put Neosporin on it, you know, everything. And it was starting to look kind of better about, like, maybe a few days later. Maybe. But then on Thursday, 1 week ago today, we're about to take a shower. I was about to get Riley into the shower for the morning so she can get ready for school. She takes off her socks, and she tells me, my toenail is falling off. And I'm like, huh? And I look at her foot, and sure enough, her toenail is falling off. And I'm like, I have never been in this situation before. Like, I know fungal infections, and that's what it ended up being. But, like, I know, like, it can happen. But it's like, I have never seen it before. I have never seen this before. Never seen it with my own eyes or anything. So I'm, like, panicking in a way. Because, like, I don't know what to do about this. I don't know what to do. So I'm trying to get stuff figured out, and it's like, well, call the doctor, get her in to be seen today. So the same clinic I tried to call into a week prior that didn't have any openings until like the next day. I tried calling that clinic because it's in town, it's the most convenient, and you know, it's one of those, we just need a doctor's appointment to get like a prescription. You know, that's really all we needed. But, call the doctor. I explain the situation. It's like, yeah, my 5-year-old, her toenail is falling off. On her big toe. And, you know, we need to get seen. And they look at available appointments. There is nothing on Thursday. And I called at like 8:30. Or like 8:45. I think it was closer to 8:45. It was before 9 o'clock. I'm calling before 9 o'clock, and they're telling me they can't even squeeze her in for like a tiny bit. They don't have any openings whatsoever for Thursday and Friday. So they tell me they have 0 openings until Monday. And it's like, are you absolutely fucking serious right now? So I call the clinic that we normally go to, a half hour away. They had openings at 10 and 11. I chose the 10 o'clock option because it was already 9. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, I choose the 10 o'clock option because it was the fastest. And I, get her in sooner. It wasn't her normal doctor, but I trust the clinic itself. So we go up there. I go in, get seen relatively quickly, explain everything. They look at her toe and are like, yep, that looks like a fungal infection. They were checking everything because it looked very red too. They were checking everything, like, yeah, we're gonna prescribe an ointment, and if it doesn't get better in about a week, then you call us back and we'll work on it. And it has gotten better. The ointment did help a lot, but it's also, we were in and out of the clinic in like maybe 20 minutes. And the longest part of all of that was driving up and back. So, yeah. It's always the second child. Like, Allie was easy. The only time she ever really had to go to a doctor was if she had the stomach bug. But Riley... Riley, man. That child is just insane. So, yeah, for 3 times a day, for 7 days, I've had to put ointment on her toe and change out a bandage. Yeah, that had been my life for the last week. And that toenail has not fallen off completely yet, which I am honestly surprised it hasn't. If I am being 100% real, I am so surprised it has not fallen off. It does look better. It still looks really red, but we're thinking that redness is just the new skin underneath all that dead skin. So I'm sorry I'm talking about a foot and it sounds really gross, but like that's been my life. The last week is dealing with this toe. And it's like, she's not in any pain. She's never really been in any pain. It's just, she had a fungal infection on her toe and her toenail about fell completely off. And I didn't know what to do because I'd never seen it before. I had never seen a nail almost fall off of their finger or toe. I know it can happen. I have heard stories of it happening. And I know fungal infections can happen. You know, athlete's foot exists, right? That's a common fungal infection. You know, it's just surprising to see it in person on a child. But again, it's like the clinic here in my town that I currently live in couldn't get a 5-year-old in until like 4 days later. That's so sad. I had to drive like 30 miles away just to get her seen. Just to go to a doctor, have them be like, yep, that's a fungal infection, and prescribe an ointment and be done with it. Like, I had to drive half an hour away just for that. Which is so insane that that's the life I live. Hope it gets better. It has gotten better. The 7 days are up. The last day for the 7 days was yesterday, because I started it like right away. But it has definitely gotten better. I'm still covering it with a band-aid because God forbid she catches it on something and it like rips off. That's the last thing I'd want, because I think it's just better for it to like fall off naturally. Because I am like terrified to even touch it. I'm terrified to move it. Like, it's like 80% of her toenail is like just kind of there. I'm just terrified, and I know being squeamish and being a mom are just like a bad combo, but it is a bad combo. But it's my child. It is my child that I have to take care of. So, yeah. That's been my life. So if anyone's ever dealt with like fungal infections or a nail potentially falling off, I think Vegito, I think it was last year? About this time a year ago, I think, he had the brewings of a staph infection in his finger. It was so funny. I don't remember which, I think it was his right hand, maybe? He had like a pretty big infection spot on his finger, and it was his middle finger. But luckily at that point, I got him in to see a doctor in our hometown. So make it that way, Will. But I got him into the doctor. It was so funny because doctor comes in. It's like, so what are we seeing you for? Immediate showing of the middle finger that is super puffy and infected. It's like, I ain't doing this on purpose. I'm sure doctors find the humor in that. I hope they do, because that was really funny. Wario, Luigi, Mario, Mario, Luigi, Mario, yellow, yellow, peach and bottom. Egg, DK over Wario. I'm over here. I think I got it. Mario, Luigi, Mario, egg, peach on bottom. I believe the hammer was here. And it was an L. And then boom shakalaka. Okay. So yeah, so Vegito had, I think, kind of similar, and they're like, yeah, that's probably a staph infection. So what they did, they poked it, let the pus drain out, and covered it with a band-aid and everything, and they prescribed him antibiotics, which I made damn sure he took, because knowing him, he would forget and just not take them at all. So men would be lost without wives. Words from Vegito, 100%. So yeah, if it weren't for me, he probably wouldn't have taken the antibiotics. Because he would have just forgotten. Forgotten or just not taken them. So. But yeah, so he had that last year, and they're like, yeah, staph infection. So like Riley had something, I would imagine similar, but then it like probably turned into a fungal infection. But like Vegeta was worried he was going to lose his nail, but he ended up not losing his nail. Riley, however, has lost like 80% of her toenail, and it's like, I don't know what to do about it. If I knew what to do about it and to like safely remove the nail, then I would have done that a while back, because it can't be pleasant. But I do have a lot of pictures of her toe as the whole thing like progressed, because like Vegeto's usually not home half the time, because he's like either at work or staying out, so it's like, hey, here's what her toe looks like. So that way. And like, it's like, hey, what do you think? And also like seeing it in the picture and seeing it in person are like two different things. So like I did my best I could to like, so you're like 95% off with removing the foot. The toenail is about to be removed, I would imagine. Yeah, I'm just thinking, my mindset is like, it'll probably fall off on its own. It's just patience. It reminds me of an umbilical cord, because let me do this minigame and then I'll go back to my analogy here. Boo Koopa Goomba, 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 Boo Koopa Goomba. First one to right is Boo. What? The hell? I just won that first try. They're like, hey, tell the story. Hey, tell us this story about how a toenail is similar to an umbilical cord. Okay. Koopa Boomba Goo. The goo. Anywho. We're rhyming here. So, I kind of equated Riley's toenail to, you know, a newborn baby's umbilical cord. Just in the terms of letting it fall out on its own. Because most people probably don't know this, because I did not know this until I had my own baby. So, here's a little lesson for you. The stuff they don't tell you. Or at least I wasn't told. So when you have a baby, assuming everything works out real good and baby's healthy and everything, you know, they cut the umbilical cord, right? And then they tie it. They put like a little clamp on the umbilical cord on the baby. And in about like a week or so, that umbilical cord will dry up and just fall off on its own, and boom, there's your baby's belly button. So for like the first week or so, babies will still have their umbilical cord attached to them. So, but you're not supposed to remove it, you're supposed to let it fall off on its own. Allie's fell off after about a week and a half, I think. Riley's didn't fall off till like later. But I think we had a concern about it because it was still on, I think, at one of her appointments. And they're like, well, if you take like a baby wipe and just kind of pat around the area, it should kind of help dry it up and then it'll fall off. And we did that, and like in the next day or so, boom, it fell off. So, yeah. Fun fact about babies. Newborn babies, specifically. So, the more you know, because I have lived it. So, yeah, it's just one of those. What's the highest number you can get? I mean, the highest number you can get. If you add up the stars. 14. Nope. I knew a lot of people had 4 of them. Rock and Raceway, that's like 42. 42.39. Of the following Battle Royale maps, which one has been played the most? Chilly Waters. I always play on Chilly Waters. On a Battle Royale map, who will trade you a star? Millennium Star. We got there. So yeah. So the last 2 weeks have definitely been interesting. So yeah, I'm on the tail end of my strep. And then all of a sudden, Riley's toenail is falling off. Because my antibiotics ran out on Saturday. I took my last one Saturday night. And then Riley has to have her own little antibiotic ointment or whatever for her infection on her toe. On her toesies! Dang toesies. So, kids, man. Have kids, they said. They're a joy, they said. They always say, it's always the second one. Because the first one, it's like, you don't know what you're doing. And you have all these, like, you know, kind of rules in place for the kids and everything. And, like, the kid's fine. You know, the kid's a sweetheart. You know, an angel. Not many problems with your oldest child. But then the second child comes along. And it's like, oh, the first child, oh, they were great. We can do this again. Oh, man. And second child, I swear. Because I said before, Allie only ever really needed to go to the doctor for like a stomach bug that we were having trouble controlling, and usually they would just prescribe Zofran and send it home with us. Because it's usually in the middle of the night she would get these episodes of vomiting. But, it's like vomiting that we couldn't really, like, control, so, like, Zofran helps. So, and then, the one anomaly to that was when she fell and hit her head on, playground equipment when she was in kindergarten. I do remember this. I was pregnant with Riley at the time, and, that staple was $1,000 trip to the ER. I remember getting the bill for it, and it was $1,000. Like, shit! That's a pretty good way to describe how all that is. So, yeah. But, Allie did very well with getting that staple. Well, they either was, like, surgical glue or a staple. But, like, with a staple, we can still wash your hair and stuff. So, I'm like, let's go with the staple. Because she would have only had to have the staple in for a week. And so, we had that staple in her head for a week. And they're like, just walk in to the clinic, explain the situation, and they'll take you back to remove the staple. And that's exactly what happened. And Allie did so good when she got that staple removed that they gave her 2 suckers. Yeah, she did so good they gave her 2 suckers. So, yeah. That's really the only anomaly when it comes to Allie. Like, she didn't really have any, like, injuries. She just is prone to stomach bugs. She is prone to, what is it, the norovirus or whatever the stomach bug is. That's usually in the winter time. Like, everyone got hit with it this last, like, winter. Oh, so bad. It was so bad. I got hit with it for over a week. It was awful. It was so awful. But, yeah, but then Riley happens, and, she eats a plastic part to a Pepsi label. Like, we gave her an empty bottle because she loved playing with them. And, we hear a little bit of coughing, and we realized, because we were driving home from, my in-laws' house, which is a half-hour away. So we hear this coughing. It's like, oh shit. So I climb back there, and I climb back to the back of the car because Vegeta's the one that's driving, and I check on her, and she's just like kind of not doing so hot. There was coughing, and I notice parts of the empty Pepsi bottle, parts of the label were torn off, and it's like, oh shit, she probably ate that, didn't she? And so, when we got back to town, we immediately went to the ER, because it was like a Saturday at like 6. So we went to the ER, they did some x-rays, confirmed it was in her tummy, and it's like, well, can't really do much about it, just kind of keep an eye on it. So we were just kind of worried with it being like a thin plastic, it would like block her airway or something, but no, she just flat out ate it, and like 2 days later, I saw it in her diaper with her poop, just a little tiny centimeter square of Pepsi Blue in her poop, because she was like not even 2, almost like just turned 2, just turned 1. I don't know. I have a picture of it somewhere. Let me do this mini game, then I'll dig for the picture to at least get a date on how old she was. She wasn't that old. Because it was like March. I remember it being around March. Yeah, and then after that, we never gave her any empty bottles after that again. Never did that. We learned our lesson. Run this way. I like running. Counterclockwise is my natural turn. Nice. Anyway, let me look for this picture. I have a lot of pictures. Yeah, I have pictures of her in the ER when she swallowed the piece of the Pepsi label. And I remember her hair being shorter, so... Where am I at? Okay. About a year and a half. No, I'm just seeing all the cute pictures of her. Alright, where am I at now? Okay. Here we go. Here's her in the ER. Yeah, she was barely a year old when that happened. She looked so tired in the ER. Yeah, she was barely a year. And then a year after that, when she was barely 2, in 2023, because this event happened on stream. So Riley used to eat potatoes all the time. Or just whenever she would eat, her hair in front was always longer. So we had a little, like, hair beret that we pinned her bangs back so it wouldn't get in her food. So, so every time she ate, we had that little hairpin. And, I was on stream. I remember it was Mario Party 6 Fair Square. Mario Party 6 Fair Square. I had all my stuff normally set up. Riley was like in the corner of my eye, eating her potatoes like she normally does. And then I hear a cough. And then I look over and I just kind of use my eyeballs to like kind of look around because the hairpin was not in her hair. So I'm looking around. I don't see it anywhere. I do not see this hairpin anywhere around her. And after stream, it was not in her chair. It was not anywhere. So I'm like, oh dear God, she swallowed it, didn't she? Sure enough, she did. Sure enough, she did. And that was an adventure in and of itself. Because immediately after stream, I went to pick up Allie from school. And we went to the ER. Told them, hey, my 2-year-old swallowed a hairpin. And they got x-rays of her. And it's like, yep, she swallowed it. It's in her stomach. We're going to send you over to this hospital an hour away. Because it's a bigger hospital. They can do a procedure. And they can put a scope. Get a scope down and retrieve it. Because it was big. It was, you know, like about maybe 1.5 inches long, maybe 2 inches. I think it was like 2 inches, like a little kid's hair barrette, you know, like the ones that kind of snap, those ones. And she swallowed one, and they're like, yeah, we can send her over to this hospital where they can get a scope down her throat and retrieve it, and then you'll be all good to go. Welp, Riley is a small child. Riley is very small. Like, even now, she grew like 4 inches in a year. But, she is still in like the 20th percentile for her age group in terms of size. So she is still relatively small. She's always, like, she wasn't always like very small, but like at that age, she was very small. Like, they were having like, we're concerned about her weight gain, you know, like that small. Oopsie. Wrong button. That one. Yeah, there we go. So, dang it. So, we go, and by this point, it's like 7 o'clock. It's like 7 o'clock by the time we get out of the ER here in town to go an hour away. So, we drop Allie off at Grandma's, because it was on the way. And they're like, hey, can you watch our child for us? So, we had this whole, you know, game plan of everything. So we had 2 vehicles at the time. We had my old car and, this pickup that we have. And so we went up there separately, and I don't know how to do the short cast, but it's fine. So we went up there. They're like, yep, we'll get her checked in, get her an IV going, yada yada yada. Ah! Controller fell off my leg. You know, get everything going, and then we'll send her back. And it's like 9 p.m., 10 p.m. by the time they get her sent back, put her under, and we get told they don't have a scope small enough for Riley, and that they have to send her to a children's hospital that will have the right size equipment for her. And the nearest children's hospital, like dedicated children's hospital, is, I believe, in Wichita. This was years ago, so I can say this. We went to Wichita. Wesley Medical Center, specifically, they did wonders, because that's where I went when I had my whole almost dying thing. Wesley Medical Center. Anywho, yeah, we went to Wichita. I'm not going to say how far away it was, but because that would give things away, but we went to Wichita, and it was crazy. Got in there, got all checked in, explained the situation and everything. I can make an attempt. I need to get this used. So we get there and everything, get her checked in, get a room, all that fun stuff. And then, like, I think, like, the next day, they're like, yeah, we'll get her in for a procedure. And they take x-rays of her, like, throughout the day, just to kind of, keep track of, you know, where the pin is. And it was still kind of, like, right there. So, they mark it down, give her time for a procedure. She goes under, and they couldn't get it. The hairpin was too far gone in her system, so they couldn't get it. So we were there for like 2 extra days. We were there for 2 extra days after that. So they can monitor where this pin is. And really what they were looking for is if this hairpin gets past a specific point in the large intestine, because there's like apparently like a little choke point, maybe, that like if it doesn't get through there and it gets stuck, then they have to do another procedure on her. And luckily the hairpin went past that point. And once it got past that point, they're like, all right, we'll get you discharged, we'll get you out of here, and she'll poop it out in a day or 2. And she was prescribed a medicine called Senna, and I believe that, like, stimulates the digestion. Okay, I'm fine with that one. It stimulates the digestion to kind of help things move along, to get that hairpin moved to where it needed to be. So, that was a fake one anyway. And she was also prescribed a lot of laxatives, and it got to a point where it's like, oh, her stools are liquid. They are very loose, and we don't want them to be just liquid. So, they kind of, like, backed off of that a little bit. So, but yeah, they were doing everything they can to get her digestive system moving so they could move that hairpin out of her body. And then once it got past a certain point, they let us go. It was like Friday. She swallowed the hairpin on Tuesday. We didn't get home till Friday. Oh, stars over there. Okay. That way. So, yeah, and she pooped out the pin on Saturday. So literally the next day, we didn't see her poop it out because we had to go to town to get groceries. So we left the kiddos with grandma and, you know, explained everything to grandma. And it's like, yeah, keep an eye out for that. And yep. And she saved the hairpin just to let us see it. And it was a neon green, glittery, sparkly hairpin. And it was not glittery and sparkly anymore. It was not glittery and sparkly anymore. So, yeah, that was a fun week. That was a fun week. Yup. That child. That child. Ugh. Riley is a wild one. It's always the second kid. It's always the second kid. How close are we to the last 5 turns? I can't check right now. That makes me a little sad. We gotta be close, right? Because we were moving quickly and then all of a sudden we were hitting a lot of battle spaces. Okay. 7 coins. Alright. Vine with me, please! Yay! I get my favorite. I love Vine with me. It's one of my favorite minigames. You guys, we've seen this a bunch because this is like my go-to of frustration venting. Whee! Oh, dang it. Yeah, and for a long time we really thought Riley was just like impervious to pain. And then like a couple months ago she gets an ear infection. Now that knocked her out. I also remember whenever we got physicals done for the school year, for I think it was just Riley that needed the physical done, or maybe we got both girls done. I can't remember. I think we got both of them done. But anyway, anywho, we had to go in to pick up a cup to get a sample of pee. You know, and everything. And it's like, okay, whatever. She was also 4. Like, why are you asking for a urine sample for a 4-year-old? That's beyond me. A healthy 4-year-old that doesn't have any, like, health problems at all. Man, I am just not rolling good. But, yeah, it was when I, you know, got the pee sample. Because they're like, get the pee sample, put it in your fridge for the next day, and then everything's all hunky-dory. You know? So I grabbed the sample, you know, keep it in the fridge, and like the sample looked relatively healthy. Color of lemonade. That's what you want. Because like if it's too clear, if it doesn't have any color at all, you're drinking too much water. If it looks like applesauce, no. If your pee looks like applesauce, that is definitely worth noting to your doctor. If it looks like apple juice, there we go. Yeah, if it looks like apple juice, you're dehydrated. But you want like a light yellow color, kind of like lemonade. Not like foggy and murky like lemonade usually is, but kind of that color. So, but like her pee was a normal color. I'm like, yep, that's a healthy amount. That's a healthy color of pee. Nothing out of the ordinary. Cool, whatever. And we get to the physical. Everything's going good. They had to prick her finger to check her sugar levels, which she just took like a champ. Because this is Riley we're talking about. She's impervious to pain. At least like outside force pain. Like getting pricked, nothing. Nothing. But then they come in and tell me, like 10 minutes later, that they're like, has she had any trouble peeing? Like recently? I'm like, no. Like, there was no trouble at all. You know, she doesn't have any trouble. She doesn't tell me it hurts when she pees. Like, no. Like, if she did, I would have had it taken care of by now. But they're like, oh, well, we found some blood in her urine, so we wanted to bring that up with you. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? I saw that pee that I got from her. There was 0 blood in it. If there is even a twinge of blood, it would have been like a slightly different color. It would have looked slightly orange, probably. I know how color theory works. You know? Like, I feel like if there was blood in her urine, I would have known. But they're like, yeah, there's a bit of blood in her urine. You just want to make sure that she doesn't have a UTI or anything. It's like, no. Nothing is wrong with my child. I really feel like some freaking sample got mixed up. I really think that's what happened. They got something mixed up. Which, yeah. Good on that, I guess. But, for one, it's ridiculous to ask a 4-year-old for a urine sample anyway for a school physical. Yeah, this is a school physical for preschool. And they're asking for urine samples. It's like, I can understand asking for a sample if they've had pre-existing health problems that would warrant a urine sample. But this is a relatively healthy child, and this is for a school physical. I have never once, even for physicals for sports, never had to take a urine sample for any of it. Never once. So this was just so strange to me. Ooh, no. No! The garbage blocks destroyed me. It's fine. So it's just so wild to me that the clinic here, or like the health department, would ask for a urine sample for a 4-year-old. It's like, this is insane. This is literally insane. Why are we doing this? Color theorying the pee. Again, like, I feel like you would know if there was blood in your urine. It would change color. You would know. You would know. There's the last 5 turns. So, yeah, that's... Things that have happened have just driven me so insane with some of the decisions. Standard last 5 turns procedures, all red and blue spaces are doubled. If you land on the same space as your opponent, you get to duel them. Wow, that one goes through, but the last one didn't? Hi, bro. Blue. If you're around, you can get this one. Stubborn festivity. No. Thank you. I'll let you get that one, because I got the last one. I'm surprised that one went through, because the last one got held by Automod. It's like, so that one gets held by Automod, but then, oh well, it's fine. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 4, 5. I don't trust my luck. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. I am less than a dice walk away with that one, but what if that one's not the real one? I don't know. How am I supposed to know? Yeah, it's just... And it's one of those, I had the option of getting a physical done, like school physical done, with her normal doctor. But one, her normal doctor is very hard to get into. It is that one. Okay, good thing I did this. Like, if I were to schedule an appointment for something that's not an emergency with her regular doctor, it would take like a month to get her seen. So if I were to have like gotten a school physical, you know, through her regular doctor, it would have taken a long time to get her seen. So it's like, might as well just do it in town where it's convenient. But man, that experience was not good. And I think with Allie, whenever she had her, it's fine. I ain't gonna worry about it. When Allie got into preschool, she had a doctor's appointment, like, literally, like, the week before school started, and I was like, hey, yeah, we can just, get her physical done now, and they're like, alright, we can just fax it over to the school, and, they can take care of it then. But, we had some communication problems. They're like, we don't have a physical for Allison. And it's like, yeah, you do. They should have sent it to you. And that's like, I can I think they almost had me play messenger pigeon. Because they're like, you can call the clinic and give them our fax numbers. Like, why is it my problem? Why is it my problem? I can tell you the clinic that did it, then you can do it. Isn't that your job? It's like, why am I the messenger pigeon? But I think in the end it got taken care of. But like, man, that was crazy. Ouch. That was a crazy experience. I think I just have beef with like the clinic here in town. Which I know I will have to go to this summer because Allie is due for shots. She is due for her shots at 11 years old. Peach, go away. Go away, bitch! No, she didn't go away. But yeah, because Riley got her 4-year-old shots last year, which she took like a champ. Allie is due for shots this year, and I think this year's the last real year to do it. I think Riley is good until she turns 11. I think that's it. Cause, yes, I do vaccinate my kids. Duh. Anywho. Yeah, Allie's due for shots this summer. Her next doctor's appointment, I think, is in July. Because her appointments tend to get pushed back a lot because she was born at a really rough time for the doctor, because he usually goes on vacation middle of June. So whenever I try to schedule a doctor's appointment for Allie around her birthday, it always has to get rescheduled because it's like, oh hey, the doctor's not going to be in the office. They're going on vacation. We need to reschedule. It's like, ah, shit. But like, Allie's relatively healthy. I have like no real concerns for her. So it's not a big deal as long as it doesn't get like pushed back way back. And like, it has gotten pushed back to like August before for a June birthday. Because it's like, oh yeah, we'll see you in a year. And then they schedule it for like August in a year. But then I think I spoke up one time. It's like, hey, can we get it closer to her birthday? And they're like, yeah, sure, cool. We can do that. So sometimes all it takes is like a, hey, can we do this? And they're like, oh yeah, cool, whatever. Because like, social anxiety be damned. Because I think I saw on Twitter yesterday, 2 days ago, I think Tony Toe tweeted this, saying something about like anxiety with like phone calls and stuff. I'm like, oh my god, I feel that. Like, I am a mom of 2 and I still get phone call anxiety. Like, I get really nervous. I don't know why that activates like that. I don't understand. It's fine. But ooh, I get a phone. Where's my brain going? Lost my train of thought. Talk about like doctors and stuff. Oh yeah, phone call anxiety. Yeah, I think I saw Tony Toe tweet something about like having like that phone call anxiety. It's like, I am a mom of 2 and I still have phone call anxiety. Like, if I were to make a phone call for myself, I hate it. I have to like rehearse everything I'm going to say over and over and over again before I make that phone call. And it's like, yeah, I have 2 kids. One that really gets into trouble all the time. Not like into trouble, but like, man, the second child is always up to something. But here this year, like, Allie's been wanting to like walk home more often if the weather's nice. And it's like, I have to call the school and let them know that she's going to do that. That first phone call was a little rough because like, I don't know what to say. But then any other time it's like, yeah, she's gonna walk home from school today. And it's like, okay, cool. We'll let her know. So after that first one, it's like, okay, yeah, this is easy. But then sometimes like you gotta work up to it, and like the work up to it's like, you're just like pulling your hair out. Then when you actually do make that phone call, it ain't that bad. But sometimes there are phone calls that drag on forever. Like there was one time. Also, here's a thing. When it comes to having babies, double check insurance. When that baby is born, you have to call health insurance and they will get covered. You have to let them know. Because we got Allie covered and got everything squared away, you know, like a month or 2 months later or something. But the hospital where we delivered her at tried to bill her for the delivery and the hospital stay. Like, my portion got covered under insurance, but hers didn't. Because technically she wasn't covered under insurance, and they tried to bill us for it. But then, we kept getting bills for it, and I tried to fight it and fight it and fight it. And I made so many phone calls, like, you know, years ago, trying to fight it. But then, on the technicality, they're like, you're already making payments on this. We can't cover it for you. And it's like, what are you talking about? And there's other hospital bills that I am paying for every couple weeks or so, paying on that debt that, you know, and a lot of things are just kind of grouped together because it is in collections that we're just paying for, just a bunch of medical bills. And a lot of stuff just gets added to it. I never realized, I was never told that this is what that money was for. I was never told. So I wasn't aware I was already paying on this hospital bill. And that broke my heart when they told me that, because I shouldn't have had to pay for that in the first place. So, American healthcare system, everybody. But that was with Allie. And I was also 19! I was 19! I was young, first time mom. Do you know how heartbreaking it is to realize you were, like, taken advantage of? I really felt like I was taken advantage of, because this was my first kid, first time mom. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what to do. I was never told any of this. I was never told I had to contact insurance immediately or else we'd have to pay the bill. Like, I wasn't told any of that. So, yeah, I had to deal with that, because those phone calls were super anxiety-inducing. But with Riley, we didn't have to do any of that. I didn't have to call insurance to get her covered. I didn't have to do any of that. For one, I almost died. And for two, I really think my doctor stepped in and took care of a lot. And the hospital took care of a lot of that. I don't know if policies changed, but Riley got covered under insurance essentially immediately. I never had to make any phone calls for her, never saw a bill for me or her. So, but also circumstances given, I'm sure someone else took care of it. So, but yeah, the one with Allie was just so strange to me, because like that hospital really tried to bill us, and it's like, well, shit. So, charging a baby for being born is so funny to me. It's funny and stupid. It is absolutely ridiculous, because like, yeah, the baby's born, they're a patient now. But also it's like, why are you billing the baby? Why are we billing the baby? Yeah, no one told me I had to call insurance to get her covered. And I had state insurance. I'm sure it's like this for other insurance, because I had state insurance at the time. They're like, yeah, you have to call and get her covered. And like, hey, say, hey, the baby's born, and they'll take care of it. But like, I didn't know you had to do that. I did not know you had to do that, and I paid the price literally and figuratively. So, yeah, learn from my mistakes. But yeah, with Riley, we didn't have to do any of that. Because I think they either changed how stuff works, or someone else took care of it for me. I'm leaning towards someone else took care of it. Just because of everything that happened, and how much my doctor checked up on me while I was in, you know, the hospital. So, yeah. That's what I'm willing to hedge my bets towards. But yeah, those are big anxiety phone calls. So I was just trying to get to the bottom of it, and it turns out like I was already paying for it, and I had no idea. I literally had no idea because I didn't know it was for that particular bill. They're like, oh yeah, this hospital, this amount is what is here sent to collections. I'm sure if I didn't pay on it, it probably could have been taken care of, but like I didn't know. I was already paying for it. I had no idea. So, yeah. Let this be a lesson to you. If you are planning to have children, make sure you have it squared away about insurance. But yeah, I had state insurance, so, but yeah. I don't know how it is with like any other like insurance or anything, but yeah, state insurance is like, hey, call them and let them know you had the baby. They will take care of it and get the baby covered. You know, give them name, birth date, everything, so, and they'll get them covered. So, yeah. But also this hospital has been known to do shitty things like that, so it was not surprising. Honestly, there's so many duels! So yeah. Having a baby is stupid expensive for like no reason. Because hospital stays can get expensive for baby. Just baby things like diapers, clothes, wipes. You know, because everything is so upcharged for baby because, like, you gotta have it for the baby. You gotta have it. Even formula is stupid expensive. Like, I got really lucky with Allie because I wasn't married at the time of pregnancy. I got married, like, right before I had her. But I think even then it wouldn't have mattered because, you know, income. Because my dad was self-employed, and when you're self-employed, you can do fun things with your income number. I'll let you in on that one. So my dad, finagled his way. Oh, I should have hit Bowser. It's fine. Finagled his way into saying his monthly income was $1,100, which was enough to get me put on the government program for women, infant, and children, so it's WIC. So I got put on that because of my dad's income. Awesome sauce, right? Yeah, cool. I also got on state insurance that way too. But, so with WIC, it is kind of limited what you can and can't get with WIC because they're like, you have to go like the super healthy options. But it's like, they pay for it. You can get like gallons of milk, eggs, fruits and vegetables, all that for when you're pregnant. And then when you have the baby, they'll give you checks for cans of formula, which was really, really nice. And then like if like the kind of formula changed, you can go in and like trade them out and then they'll update your checks. So I had to go in like once a month to get more checks and everything. Or like come in every like 3 months or so or something to get more checks for formula. So we got lucky there with Allie. Because I tried breastfeeding with Allie. Did it for like maybe 2.5 months. And it's like, I can't do this anymore. So she became formula fed. And like the only way she would drink was from a bottle anyway. So it's like, might as well just freaking give her formula. Breastfeeding is difficult. I will be the first one to tell you that. And I don't care what anyone else says, fed is best. Some people may make fun of it, but no, fed is best. Doesn't matter if you breastfeed, doesn't matter if you formula feed, a mix of both, doesn't matter. Fed is best. Do what you gotta do for your baby. If breastfeeding is taking an incredible mental toll on you, if it is ruining your mental health, you don't gotta do it. You don't gotta do it. So, yeah, I tried breastfeeding. I breastfed for like 2.5 months with Allie. And then we just swapped to formula. So, yeah, WIC came in handy for that. And then with Riley, well, second kid, we had a little bit of experience, so we kind of knew what to expect, so we got stuff ahead of time. So, but with Wick, we were only limited to like a specific size can of formula. But with Riley, we got the big cans. We got the big cans that lasted a little bit longer. So we were definitely more prepared with Riley. We got diapers ahead of time, we got wipes ahead of time, you know, we picked up a can of formula here and there, so we were prepared. We were prepared. So, yeah, we couldn't get on Wick, because, my husband makes too much money to get on the government program this time, but, we knew ahead of time, you know, everything, so we were able to plan it out better. So there was that. But yeah, Riley was essentially just formula fed from the get-go. I tried breastfeeding her one time at the hospital, and I immediately vomited. So, because it was like 9 p.m., and I'm still kind of out of it from everything, and I couldn't hold her. I couldn't hold Riley at all to breastfeed her. So it's like, you know what? She's just gotta be formula fed. And she had like 1 bottle of breast milk, and that's it. Because I pumped while I was at the hospital for like 2 weeks. Because they let me do that. I got my own little fridge. I got my own fridge in my hospital room. I was the luxury stay. That will forever be funny to me. That I got my own fridge because I was a mom that needed to pump, what did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, yeah. So yeah, I will always say fed is best. Like, I would have loved to actually try to breastfeed that time, because I had it in my head, it's like, I'm gonna try it, but then we didn't know I was almost gonna die. We didn't know that, so it's time for Blue to go. I'm so sad, because Blue is gone. We'll probably see her in a little bit. I miss Blue. I do too. But, yeah, I am of the camp fed is best from personal experience. And I have also heard many different things about, like, oh, you have to breastfeed. Formula is bad for the baby. Who the fuck cares? As long as the baby is getting formula, that's all that matters. That is all that matters. Fed is best. I know people make it, it's like, oh, it's such a cliche. Like, no, fed is best, 100%. 100%. Again, I am a mom of 2. So, take it from me, who has attempted to breastfeed. And it hasn't quite worked out very well. No, you, Mr. Del Toro. Ooh, the Mr. Del Toro. Oh, special. Get down, Mr. Del Toro. They're trying to shoot you. Get down, Mr. President. Anyway, today has been a fun adventure. Ranted about a lot of stuff. My laptop, my microphone didn't like me talking about The Rock. I think it's time to officially retire this old mic cord. I'll use this new one now, because it seemed to have worked out pretty good. So, because I haven't had any issues since I swapped cords. So, I think it's officially time. Well, a Viking funeral, even though I'm not around the water. Thank you for the cool conversation. No worries, you're welcome. You are welcome, Johnny, and thank you everyone for stopping in and listening to me just yap about anything. Because what we talked about, like, baseball and how youth sports are pricing out the kids. We talked about WrestleMania and how stupid it is this year. And then we swapped gears to how life has been with Riley losing a toenail. Anywho. And then pregnancy. Fun fact for anyone who wants to have kids or knows people that want to have kids. It's just good information to know. 300? Nice. I didn't even realize I had over 200 coins. I did not realize. Ooh, I was almost close on that one. Almost close on that one. Lots of items. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. 24-hour Yap stream. Careful, I could find a way to do it. Part of me, because I've seen enough streams where people do this, kind of like a Proton John fortune cookie type thing, where it's like I catalog all of my games and kind of pull up a random list of games, and then we just play the game for like a certain amount of time and just play a bunch of games. I feel like that would be really, really fun to do. But I feel like I would want to find a way to capture N64. I think right now the best way we can do it is to find like an HDMI adapter for it. I am sure we can find it somewhere. We've just kind of heard meh things about it, but like I would love to. I would love to figure that out and like catalog all our games and like, oh, it's like, oh, we have a list of like, oh, Xenoblade 2, the Twilight Princess, Okami, and just like vote on it. And this weird third-party Nintendo game. And just like vote. And it's like, oh, hey, we want to play Xenoblade 2 for like half an hour. Okay, let's do it. You know, that'd be really fun. But also it's a cool way to like catalog what games we have available for us. So I think that'd be really fun. 24-hour Yap does the stream. Featuring Blue. Featuring Blue, that we'd go on forever, probably. I'm going to snooze my ads one more time because more than likely Blue is live right now. I am hedging my bets on that. Yes, she is. She gonna play the Xenoblade Chronicles. I can't remember if she's going to beat the game or not today. I don't know. We're gonna find out. We're just gonna go real simple with this raid message. Yap, please. Real simple, straightforward, to the point. If you are subbed to me, you can use my emotes. If you are not subbed to me, you can use whatever emotes you want. Alright. Schedule for the week. Tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow's Mario Tennis. I didn't do a damn thing after stream yesterday. I said I was going to do like the training stuff yesterday, but I didn't get to because I got invited to play Super Battle Golf with JT and Blue and Bat. So that was really fun. I think it'll be better to try and attempt it on stream anyway, now that I think about it. The Xenoblade Chronicles made me spit my coffee. The Xenoblade Chronicles. That's how me and Vegito talk about Xenoblade. Because, Xenoblade. Yes, Xenoblade beat the Vegito the other day. No, Vegito beat Xenoblade the other day. He beat Xenoblade 1. Did the final boss and everything. Really good. I think Blue's about to do it, or she's really close. I don't know what she's... I don't know what her game plan is right now, so we're gonna just go ahead and start the raid. Maybe, hopefully, please. Okay, good. So yeah, tomorrow's Friday, Mario Tennis. Monday should be Final Fantasy. Be really fun. Xenoblade played Vegito and completed it. Yep, that he did. That happened. Monday, Final Fantasy 16. Tuesday, Thursday, Mario Party. And then Wednesday, Friday, we'll see how Mario Tennis goes. We'll figure it out. Because, like, I may play too much of Mario Tennis or may run out of things to do. I do have a brand new game coming in on Saturday. Should be here on Saturday, I have been told. I don't know if I want to play it Wednesday, Friday or not. That's the thing. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But yeah, it was Battletoads. Yes, totally. We're gonna play Battletoads. But no, I was generously been given money to purchase this game, and this game has been purchased. It'll be played soon. We'll talk more about it later. So before the raid goes, Mondays are Final Fantasy 16, Tuesdays and Thursdays are Mario Party, and Wednesdays and Fridays are Mario Tennis / whatever else. So thank you everyone for coming out and hanging out, and we will see you next time.